Yeah, that's what I usually do.
Now we're going to go ahead and look at an example. First of all, this is a binomial model. I kind of wrote it on the other side. P is the probability of success in trials. Q is the probability of failure, but let's be a little more optimistic, just 1 minus P. All right, 30% of candies are speckled, so that's still the same probability. What is the probability we'll find 2 speckled M&Ms in the first 5 candies? So that means X is going to be 2. That's how we're going to find that. And then N is going to be 5. So we're going to use the formula, probability that X equals 2 is going to be combinations with 5 choose 2, 0.3 squared, and 0.7 cubed. Now how did I get that? Well, that's X, right? That is 5 minus 2, which is 3. That is Q, 1 minus 0.3. There's your P, there's your N, and there's your X. All right? And I like to do this the shorthand way because I don't like to grab a calculator. And then you would multiply this all out. Eventually I'm going to have to break down, grab a calculator, and I will get this number. But wait, this is a good sign. That means there's a shortcut. What's the shortcut? Press second distribution. Okay. And then Binom, scroll down to Binompdf. And then we're going to press enter. Then we're going to do N and P and then X. And I'll pause here. I went ahead and got my phone, which has the handy Wabbit Emu, very nice calculator that shows up. So let's go ahead and hit Math, PRB. Scroll down. Oh no, I want second distribution. Why did I do that? Second distribution. Where's distribution? It's really those blue little letters right there where VARS is. It's second distribution. Binompdf. There it is finally. And then this one's easy because it says trials, that's your N. P we already said was 0.3, and X is 2. So if your calculator's like that, it's pretty darn easy. And you hit enter, and you can see there's my 7. But there's more than one type. Hopefully this one, I just grabbed a random calculator. I did not shuffle and then pick. All right, my kids do that for me. So let's go ahead and do Binompdf and see if this one is the same as mine. No, you see it doesn't have the nice 3 lines. So that's why you want to write down the instructions on your 3x5 card when you're taking a test. So first we put N, comma, the comma's above the 7, all right? And then we're going to put P, 0.3. You don't have to do 0 first. And we put 2 and enter. And I got the same answer. Okay. Now we're going to ask a different question. What is the probability we'll find up to 2 speckled M&Ms in the first 5 candies? So it's really important to understand, on here I'm going to write the sample space for X, for the variable. Okay? What can X be? Pretend that's X can be, well, I could have 0 speckled, 1 speckled, 2 speckled, 3 speckled, 4 speckled, or 5 speckled. All right? Up to 2. What counts as up to 2? Here. Up to 2. So I could do, well, let me just use this nice little shortcut. The probability that X is equal to 0, 1, or 2 is Binompdf. And I would work it out when X is 0. So I'm going to 5, 0.3, 0, plus Binompdf of, it's not going to fit, 5, 0.3, 1, plus Binompdf of 5, 0.3, 2. And then work it all out and add it all up. I will get a number. My number will be 0.83692, or about that. But wait, there's more. There's another shortcut. See this CDF? Binom CDF will do all probability from 0 to X. So that's pretty awesome. And this would go from 0 to 2. So instead of doing all 3 of these, I can just say, oh wait, let me just do Binom CDF. C stands for cumulative. P for 1, C for cumulative. And if I do this in my calculator, it will also give me that number. So let me show you how to get it. Press second distribution, Scroll up or down until you see Binom CDF. Very important you see the C. And then enter your N number, then your P number, and then your X number, and hit enter. Alright, so let me show you on this calculator. You should be able to see that. So see, that was CDF. I'm going to get a different number now, second distribution. And then I'm going to scroll down to Binom CDF. Enter. 5, 0.3, 2. So I'm putting the same thing in, but it's a slightly different function. Notice how I get the much bigger number. 0.83692, the same answer we got from adding those three. Now I'm going to add a part 2 to our notes. Say you have more than 2 speckled candies. So that would be x is equal to 3, 4, or 5. Now, Binom CDF is only from 0 to x, so I cannot put in Binom CDF of 5, subtract 3. That won't work. But let's look at our sample space again. That's this piece of the sample space, right? So that's what that is. What should the entire sample space add up to? It should add up to 1. So really, the probability that x is greater than 2, I'll just say x is 3, 4, or 5, right, is just 1 minus that answer. 1 minus the binom CDF of 5, 0.3, 2. 1 minus 0.83692. And let me go ahead and do that on my calculator. Minus that, or 0.16308. So when you're doing CDF, remember, it only does the left side. If you want these problems to be easy, list out all your possible values for x and say, am I just finding one number? So if I did on this first problem, my sample space was 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Here I just wanted this number, this 2. I'll put my 1 there so you can see it. Here I'm wanting combinations of x's, all right, so that I have different, it can be 0, 1, or 2. So that's why I'm having to do this CDF to make my life a little bit easier. So hopefully that makes sense.